Hello, and in this R tutorial I'm going to briefly introduce you to infix functions, and along the way we're going to learn some cool stuff about how R works. So we know in R, if we want to run some kind of operation, we usually call a function to run that operation, and we pass into it as arguments things that we want the operation to be run against. So for example, the mean function, we might pass in a vector of numbers of which we want the mean to be calculated, and in those kind of functions, we, like in most programming languages, we write the function name, some brackets, and the parameters that we want to pass into the function. But R has something special called infix functions, where we can pass the parameters and have the function name in between them. This is a little complicated to explain, and I'll show you what I mean, but it also shows you that all the operations you do in R, even simple mathematical operators like the plus sign, the minus sign, are actually functions. They just work in a special way. So let's open R and start taking a look at some of this stuff. So just as a quick first example, if I did 1 plus 5, or 1 plus 6 for example, I get the answer 7, and we wouldn't immediately think of that as being the plus sign here as being a function, because we're not passing any parameters to it. We're not going like this, for example, and then passing in the 1 and the 6 to say what we want to add together, but and if I run that, it is actually going to fail. But that's only because the plus is a special character. The plus is actually a function, so if we want, we can actually use it in the same format as any regular function. If we want to do that, all we have to do is encase the special character in backticks. So backtick on one side, backtick on the other side, and if I return that, it's now going to give us number 7. But so it's because the plus is a special character that I have to use these backticks. But other than that, it is literally just a function. And the same works for any operator you can think of. So if I do to the power of, that should give me 1 to the power of 6, and I've done that as a function. If I do minus, I get the answer there. So all operators in R are not just operators like in most programming languages. Most programming languages, that's a unique kind of keyword, but in R it's just a function. The fun really comes when we can create our own what are called infix functions. And why they're called infix functions is because they go the function name goes in between the parameters. So like in 1 plus 6, for example, I've passed the first parameter before the function name, and then the second parameter after the function name. So how do I create my own infix function? Well, let's say I wanted to create an infix function to calculate the percentage of some value. So to create infix functions, just like creating regular functions, there are a couple of things I have to do there. First is it has to be encased in backticks to tell R that we're writing a special kind of function that it wouldn't usually expect. We then have to do 2 percent signs and whatever our word is going to be, so the name of our function. So because it's going to calculate the percentage, I'm just going to say per, and then just like any other R, any other thing in R, it's going to be assigned to a function, and it's going to go between two things. So the proportion and the total. So when you're writing an infix function, the first parameter will be set to whatever the user puts on the left, and the second parameter will be put on the right, and the other way around if you're in a right to left language. So we then write what we want the function to do, just like any other function. So I want it to return the value of proportion over total. Proportion divided by total. Times 100. And I'm gonna allow that. I'm gonna submit that function. And now, how do we use it? Well, the way I said we do. So, for example, we don't need the backticks when we're actually calling the function. We just need it when we're implementing it. So to find out what percentage, for example, 10 is out of 20, just to make it so we can verify, we can go 10, which is the first argument, which will be set equal to the proportion here, and then what do we want it as a percentage of? Well, now we can write our the name of our infix function. And then per 20. And I didn't tell it what to do with the value, I just told it to calculate the value, so I'll just save it somewhere just so that it's easier for us to retrieve later. And now if I see what x is equal to, it's equal to the value, so it's taken those two parameters that are on either side of the function name and implemented them in this function. So all you need to remember for infix functions is that the first parameter will be whatever the user passes on the left when you define it, and the second parameter will be whatever the user passes on the right. So it's worth noting that using this philosophy, you could actually redefine any function in R that even uses a special character. So you could, using this kind of syntax with the special character symbol, you could, for example, redefine what the minus sign means and make it do addition. Obviously that would be silly, but everything in R is completely flexible. So this just gives you a little bit of insight into how R actually works. Everything you do, absolutely everything, is a function, even if you don't realise it, and all the data you get back and all the data you pass in is a vector. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you learned something. Definitely subscribe if you liked it, it's really helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.